Oh my God, you guys. Hi. Hi. What's up, besties? Welcome back to Talkin Schmitt. I have no idea if this is going to work or not. Bring this closer to me. Hi, you guys. I need to get, hi. Hello. Hi. Well. Welcome back to Talkin Schmitt, you guys. I'm your host, Brittany Schmitt. And, listen, is everything still kind of fucked up? Yeah, I look like I'm in an interrogation room right now. And the lighting is not right. And Mike was supposed to be here today, but he got busy. And so he isn't. And I'm trying to just push through and do the podcast and keep going. I'm not going to let little things like lighting get in the way of the podcast. I am back. I am better. I'm feeling better. I'm not mentally better. I have gone more insane in the past 2 weeks than I've gone. I'm not going to say in my life because listen, mama's had some crazy times. But I have gone cuckoo fucking nanners, and I have really showed Mr. Manhattan what a monster I can be. I was like, hi, you haven't met this personality. This one's very spooky. Enjoy. Yeah, you guys, I've really struggled with this move. And here's the thing that I am grasping with. And I hope you guys, you know what? I hope you guys are having a great 2026. I hope your 2026 is off to a great motherfucking start. You know, I had the audacity. I knew better. I had the audacity at the end of last year to be like, 2026 is going to be my year. I'm going to move and everything's going to be perfect. Oh, LOL. You know, make a plan and God will laugh. God will motherfucking laugh. Like, I really thought this year I was going to move. I was going to feel invigorated and excited and brand new. And I was going to be a brand new bitch. And I've just been a bitch. Nothing new about that. Yeah, I've really been struggling. And I hope that your life is going better than mine. My mental illness has come out in full force. My mental illness, excuse me, I need a tissue. Not only did I get a tissue, but I got an Olipop. Listen, Mike is going to fucking spaz because the lighting is so wrong. Biggie's barking from the other room. He wishes he could be here, but he can't. My mental illness has come out in full force, you guys. I have just been dressing my little demons up in Palm Beach florals and taking them for a spin around the neighborhood. I have been losing my motherfucking medulla. Listen, you guys, the last podcast episode it kind of like gave you a glimpse into what was going on. I'm going to do my best to be the bigger person here and not go absolutely fucking scorched earth on these people. Hang on. I think I need to move the camera forward. I think that's a little better. There we go. Sorry, Mike, you're going to have to punch in. It's in 4K though. Don't worry. Okay. I'm going to do my best to be a bigger person. I'm going to do my best to rise above it. But I want you guys all to know, and I'm saying I'm going to do my best to rise above it because like there's still a chance that litigation might happen. But I will just say this. A different version of me would be going scorched motherfucking earth right now. The things that we have uncovered in this investigation into why our apartment looks like a Sims house. Like, remember when you were 12 and you were playing Sims and you were like, I think a couch could go here. And then another couch could go here. And then a dining room table could go there. And then that's what it's like 12-year-old me sitting on my 1998 Windows PC, booting it up, tapping the side of it while logging onto AOL. Let me build you a motherfucking Sims house, bitch. That's what I live in right now. And I'm not going to go into the details of what a nightmare this has been because, like I said, we don't know that. It's not going to get nastier. So I'm just going to motherfucking chill. I'm going to drink my Olipop. Not sponsored by them, just drinking it. They came out with these mini cans, the little tiny orange creams. Are you fucking kidding me, you guys? How cute is life? Anyway, I saw something on Instagram that made me change my mind about my situation. It wasn't all of my closest friends being like, hey, Brittany, it's just furniture. Move on. Maybe don't throw yourself off a fucking balcony because you have a couch you don't like. And then at one point I said to Mr. Manhattan, I was like, I think I should start drinking again. I was like, I think it's time for me to relapse. And he was like, oh, yeah, I think you should go to an AA meeting. But I'm like, he's like, what are you going to be? Just like, you're just going to then just be drunk on an ugly couch. Like you don't fix anything by drinking. And then I literally spent time looking at the study about how your body regenerates on a cellular level every 8 years. Mr. Manhattan didn't close the front door. Hang on a second. This episode of Talkin Schmitt is brought to you by Berber hair oil. You guys, I'm doing a Berber hair oil treatment right now. Can you see that I'm doing a Berber hair oil treatment right now? It's like this little slick back look, and I've been doing it twice a week. I'm really treating this year like my new pandemic, and not in like the negative ways, not like the world shut down, but because I have removed myself from functioning society and have put myself in a place where I don't know anybody or anything. I'm going to focus on health. And one of the things that I want to focus on is my hair health. So I've been doing these hair oil treatments 3 times a week. I'm going to try and get my hair back down to my booty because that's where I like it to be. Okay. And I had it there almost, and then I got those fucking extensions and listen, we got to let it go. Does this girl let things go? Not really. Did she let go of the fact that those extensions fucking ruined her life? Not really. But Berber hair oil has helped me on this journey of regrowth and health, and I'm so excited to see where it goes. I'm going to do it for a whole year. I'm probably not going to color my hair this year, and I'm just going to see what happens. So I really want you guys to come on this journey with me. Let's make our hair as strong and healthy and long and beautiful as possible. Go to berber.com, BURBUR.com, and use my code BRITT, BRITT, for 15% off your first order. And if you guys are like struggling between what you should get, I think you should get the starter kit with 2 bottles of oil and then the mermaid brush. Get the mermaid brush. That's the best brush. Both brushes are great, but you know, if we're balling on a budget, just get one. The mermaid brush is fantastic. That's what I used to get this slick back look today. So go to berber.com, BURBUR.com, use code BRITT for 15% off, and I will see you soon. Why did I say I'll see you soon? And thank me later is what I meant to say. But I will also see you soon. And that's a threat. Hi. I read a study about how your body regenerates on a cellular level every 8 years or 7 years. And then I was like, you know what? I haven't drank alcohol in 8 years. I mean, listen, I've had like a sip of wine here, a sip of wine there, but I have not like drank alcohol in 8 years. I was like, maybe I can start drinking again. Maybe I can start drinking again. And he's like, maybe you should go to an AA meeting. So I did that. And I met some cutie little girls, and I'm trying to start to make friends, and I'm doing my best, but it's hard. Like I have good days and I have bad days. You know, I had a tarot card reading last week where I was like going over my career, and I was like, what is working? What isn't working? And I was like, can we talk about stand-up comedy and whether or not I should keep doing that? And she was like, you know what? I think right now you should give it a little break. And the weight that came off of my shoulders, it felt like a semi-truck just reversed off of me. I was like, oh, thank God. I have just been feeling like I'm hitting a wall with it, and it just feels so exhausting, and it's just taking from me, and I don't feel like I'm that funny anymore. And I'm not asking for you to tell me that I'm funny. I'm not, fishing for compliments here, but just the actual grind of being on the road is so exhausting, and coming up with new material every year is so exhausting. I think when you give your body time to pause, it's easier to create. And, you know, a great example of that for me was the pandemic. Like during the pandemic, I wrote a book, and it's because I didn't feel like everyone else was getting ahead, and I felt like there just wasn't pressure to do anything. So I wanted to do something. And that was the most fun I've ever had being creative in my life, was writing that book. I would wake up at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., no alarm clock, excited to be awake, excited to write. And I would write for 4 hours a day. And it was glorious. And so, I think I need to figure out how to get back to being creative without it killing me. And so I'm going to keep all the dates that I have on the calendar. I'm going to keep. I'm not going to cancel anything. I will be in London, Berlin, and Amsterdam. And listen, if you don't buy tickets, I won't be there. That's the other thing. I'm not going to run across the actual globe to make 4 people in Berlin laugh. That's not my journey. And I love you all so much. And I obviously want to see you there. And I hope you come. But if tickets don't sell soon, I might cancel those dates. But the ones that I won't cancel are the ones that got rescheduled from earlier this year, the Nashville dates and the Raleigh dates. I'll be doing those. Those are in June. I'll be on the road with Raina. That's not changing. But you know what? I think emotionally I need a little break. I need a little reset. I can't keep running up against the wall. And here's the thing. It would be different. I was grinding like this and I was making so much money like some of these comedians do. That I would be all right, shut the fuck up, bitch, and go to work. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it for me right now. And I have other creative projects that I want to pour my energy into. This podcast. I love this podcast, even though I look like I'm in a fucking detention hall right now. I look like I'm in an interrogation room. I might have just killed somebody, and honestly, I might. I'm on the edge. I'm a woman on the edge right now, you guys. I am a woman on the motherfucking edge. And I feel so bad for Mr. Manhattan because he is really going through it with both of my diseases. Well, all of my diseases. Alcoholism is the first disease I have. Depression and, it's not a disease, mental illness, whatever. And OCD thinking. So the OCD thinking, and I don't know if any of you guys can relate to this, but I have OCD thinking and it will flare up. And it hasn't really flared up in a while, but when it does flare up, it can take me out at the fucking knees. And anyone who has OCD thinking can relate to this because you just go on a loop and you obsess and you look at all the details and then you think of more things and then you get more angry. And then every time you see something new, you get mad about it. And then every time you think of something new, you get mad about it. And then you wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, and another thing. And that's where I've been living with this designer situation. Some things have come to light about it. And I can't really say it because I don't know where we're going to land with it. But I have been on a fucking loop. I'm just a hamster on a fucking wheel. And I'm just going over the same points and I'm mad about the same things. And then I keep getting angry and it's just possessing me. And I'm like a fucking demon. And everyone wants to just move on. At the end of the day, it's just furniture. There are bigger fish to fry. Our country is being run by a fucking pedophile ring. I don't ever talk about politics. I just don't get into the weeds with that kind of stuff. But this isn't about politics. This is bipartisan. This is both parties. This is the stuff that's coming out in the Epstein files is actually making me sick. And being in Palm Beach where it all happened is it's kind of crazy. It's such an atrocity. It makes me sick. I feel the sickness I feel about it, I feel in my spinal cord. I feel it everywhere in my body. I feel so sad and so disgusted and so I fucking knew it the whole time because I've never ever, since I was young, I just remember politics being so divisive. And I remember my family members fighting about politics and they had, my mom's family were Democrats, my dad's a Republican. I just remember people fighting about it early on. And I was like, hey guys, do you really think these bozos give a fuck about you at all in the way that you're willing to decimate a very important relationship because you have political differences? Do you think these people care about you at all? I guess we just found out that they didn't. They don't, they never have, they never will. They're just doing demonic weird shit and they're all just power hungry fucking morons. And I feel really lost and I feel really, I just feel shattered about it. And I feel like we're not mad enough. I feel like the US government is like, yeah, okay, so you wanted to know and now you know. We are doing like weird fucking shit, weird, horrible, objectively bad shit. And this is why the conversation of abuse, and I've talked about it before, abuse within family systems, abuse of minors, all of that shit. There's never going to be big sweeping laws to protect people from it. There's never going to be changes made if the people at the top are the ones that are the perpetrators. So I feel sick in my skin. It makes my bones hurt and I feel sick to my stomach, and I just don't know that there's going to be a solution. We're starting to see solutions and people are starting to get punished in other countries, but for whatever reason in our country they're like, yeah, we did it, so what? And that makes me like really sad. So at the end of the day, my whole point is that like me being, earth-shatteringly upset about what happened to my apartment. It's just fucking furniture. And at the end of the day, I have a beautiful home. I have a beautiful partner. I have a healthy dog. I'm healthy. My dad's healthy. My sister's healthy. My family's good. Like I have so much to be grateful for. And so what I've been trying to do the last couple of days, and by that I mean like literally just today, just this morning, I started doing a mindset shift where instead of waking up, because what was happening with my OCD thinking is I would wake up and I would immediately be in like, I'm going to fucking, I'm going to kill a bitch mode. And instead of doing that, I got back to doing gratitude lists, which is something that I used to do when I practiced the program more regularly. And my old sponsor actually called me yesterday and she was just checking on me and I told her everything. And she's like, why don't you start that? And which is Shelton Wilder. She is a real estate agent. She is a bad bitch. She is a sweetheart, but I always called her positron. Like she kind of like was too positive sometimes where I'm like, are you paying attention to anything? But like, no, she's choosing to be positive, and that's why her life is so abundant and wonderful and beautiful, and she's one of the most successful realtors in LA, and she has a gorgeous family, and she's healthy and she's smart, and because she's choosing to focus on the good. She knows everything the rest of us know. She's aware that the world is a dark place and there's bad shit happening, but she's not focusing on that. And I think wherever you put your focus is how you feel, and that is true. So like this morning I woke up and I decided, okay, I'm going to make a gratitude list. And I did, and I felt better. And I didn't do that yesterday. I forgot to meditate yesterday. I didn't do any sort of gratitude list. I was stewing in emotion, and I feel so bad because like part of living with someone else is sharing the space. And when you share the space, you share the energy. So when Mr. Manhattan's in a bad mood, I absorb that. And when I'm in a bad mood, he absorbs that. So yesterday he's like, you're making it really hard for me to enjoy Palm Beach when you're sitting in like locked in the bedroom crying all day. And, you know, it's really hard to explain to someone who doesn't understand depression, because I am clinically depressed and I have finally accepted that about myself. And is it great? No, it's fucking not. But the nice thing about being depressed when you live alone is you can be depressed by yourself. You can be depressed alone and nobody has to witness it. Like it's just you get to move through those emotions by yourself. But like when I'm here living with someone else again is challenging, because in the times that I just want to crawl into a hole and die and like eat a pint of ice cream and gummy bears and masturbate until I can't fucking feel my clit anymore, which I can't feel anyway because I'm on fucking Lexus. Like in the times I want to do that, I can't. And so I am readjusting to living with a partner, which is a process and it's a change. And I do feel bad for bringing him down with me, and my inability to emotionally recover from the design incident, we'll just call it, has really it's really fucked with both of our ability to just settle down here. So yeah, I'm not doing great, but I'm doing better, you know, like I'm fucking batshit insane. I'm crazy. I'm a crazy bitch right now. I'm crazier than I've been. I am unwell. I'm popping off on hoes. Let me tell you what, like I made a post joking kind of like the Lunar New Year is a great time to like shed things that don't serve you. And what didn't serve me was kindness. So like wrath is fucking back. And like, will this be forever? No, but there's a little part of me that feels really good just fucking sticking it to the man. Like there's a part of me that's so healed and wants to deal with people always and be so kind and be so nice. Even if they're being horrible to me, I always want to be nice. And I always, especially when people are struggling with their own problems, like mental illness or whatever it is, I always try and be so kind and handle people delicately. But when I get pushed to a certain point, I fucking bite. And the dog has been biting. I'll tell you what, the dog's been biting because a few people have motherfucking pushed me in the past 2 weeks, and us outside of this whole situation that you guys already know about. Like a few people have come for me, and I'm like, I'm done here. I'm popping off on hoes and I'm blocking them. And that's what I'm doing. And it feels good. It feels good to finally stop placating to someone's mental illness and just pop the fuck off, say what you've been thinking the whole time, say what you've been saying behind their back, and then block them. Because every once in a while, you just got to be done with a hoe. Woo! Mama's doing great today. But yeah, I've been in fight or flight, and like so many of my, all my old shit is coming up, and it's like, I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'll say it until I fucking die. Like, how many times do I have to work on the same exact wound until it goes away? When will it heal? I've been throwing a Band-Aid on that bitch. I want it to go away. Fight or flight it's coming back, and I've been fighting a little bit, but I've really been like mentally flight, because I'm just like, can I stay here? Should I move? Should I leave? And here's the thing. Everywhere you go, there you are. So even if I went to New York City and I got an apartment there and I could work there and I could do stand up there and I could have a job there and I could have a podcast studio there where I don't look like I'm in a fucking interrogation room, at the end of the day, even if I go to New York, I'm still in New York. The problem is within me. It's not around me. The issues that I'm having right now are spiritual, and I have to work on them in the ways that I know how. I found a new therapist. I love my old therapist. I'll continue to talk to my old therapist. She will always be a part of my life, but I need like a therapist, boots on the ground. So I found a therapist here. And I, found some support groups here, and I'm trying to make friends and meet people and go out and do stuff and take myself out of my comfort zone. I'm doing my motherfucking best. I will say one thing I didn't expect, and I should have expected, but I didn't expect, is how expensive everything is here. Everything's expensive everywhere. We know that. Like, the inflation's through the roof, banana pancakes, whatever. But I'm going to a Pilates class today, and it's $70. I was like, in what world? What world are we living in? Are we living in a simulation? Like, why is it $70? It shouldn't be $70. Okay. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm homesick. I feel, I don't know if homesick's the right word for it, because I did want to move out of LA and I did want this next chapter. I think just being displaced in the way that I've been has made it really hard to adjust. So I naturally want to run back to what I know and think is safer. I don't, hang on, Mike is going to have to punch this. I just, I'm homesick. I miss LA. I won't be running away. I won't be getting a new place. I won't be, I was like, I got here and I was like, I think I need to go get a place in New York. And that's just like me trying to like run away from my problems. But another thing I do, another fun thing I do that Mr. Manhattan is just getting used to, when I need love, I push people away. Like, when I really just need a fucking hug, I'll be mean. I'm like a rabid kitten in the corner of a woodshed, like I'm just like, but like I really just need a hug. And I'll be like hissing and biting and snapping and scratching, but I really just need a hug. And so when I was talking to my therapist, not my new one, my old one, I have been getting as much support as I can get. When I was talking to her, she said, this move is hard enough and it's hard for both of you. It's not just hard for you. And she's like, I think what you really need right now is a partner, and you need to tell him that you need love, because this is, he's new to your mental illness and living with you and being with you. And He might not understand, like, you know, when he's feeling pushed away, he might just leave. She's like, how do you feel when you feel pushed away? And I'm like, yeah, I want to run away. Like, I'm on the next flight out of town. I will drive my Tesla until the battery runs out. Like, I'll drive it into the fucking ocean. Like, I'm like, if he gives me like one inkling of not being wanted, I'm like, well, then I'll just like move to Aruba, you know? Like, I'm just not great. I'm not great. That's all. I'm not great. I'm as good as I can be. I'm doing my best, and that's really not that good. I'm not that good of a person. And I actually saw something online. Hang on, let me pull it up. I saw something online about people who claim to be good people, and like them having the darkest shadows and the most dissonance between. Hang on, I know I sent it to Mike, because Mike was supposed to be here today, and I was like, I want to talk about this on the podcast. I have a couple things in here I want to talk about. This, well, first of all, we don't need the music. Paradoxically, the people who see themselves as the most moral or good often carry the largest repressed shadows. The shadow refers to the parts of ourselves we've learned to deny or disown, qualities like anger, selfishness, envy, or even harm. When someone builds an idealized image of themselves, anything that contradicts that becomes threatening. So those traits are repressed instead of integrated. People with rigid, idealized self-concepts tend to have less psychological flexibility. They struggle to tolerate mistakes, nuance, and contradiction within themselves. As a result, they minimize, deny responsibility, and struggle to empathize, because acknowledging another person's pain would feel like an attack on their idealized identity. This is why people with more nuanced self-concept are often more compassionate and grounded. They know they are capable of both good and bad, and they don't need to protect an image at all costs. When you can hold your own complexity, you paradoxically become more genuinely good. Okay, so I'm not saying I'm more genuinely good because I think I'm a bad person. I actually just think I'm not that great. Like, I actually just like look at myself and I'm like, am I doing my best? Yes, but is my best good? I don't think so. Like, I don't think so. And I think it's so interesting because I've had so many people in my life that like consider themselves good and moral and kind and wise and and they're like the nastiest fuckers I've ever met. I'm like, the shit you do behind closed doors, like if people actually knew who the fuck that you were, they would run for the motherfucking hills. But they just do such a good job of putting on, and it's probably because of the business I'm in. I'm in show business, baby. They do such a good job of putting on this face of like the facade of like, this is who I want the world to believe that I am. And they will do anything at any cost to protect that. And when the mask slips and the world sees it, they still deny it. And it is a really, really interesting dedication to being good instead of just being who the fuck you are, which is an imperfect person. And I really genuinely think most people are doing their best. I don't think a lot of people are genuinely evil. Now, are there some? Obviously. Like, and we just talked about it earlier. Look what the fuck's going on. There's some genuinely bad motherfuckers in this world that aren't going to get another chance, and they're going to just have to deal with. They're just going to have to deal with that because, like, listen, karma's a bigger bitch than I could ever be. And like, karma doesn't miss a fucking doorstep. So if you think bad people get away with shit, just know that they don't. Anytime I've done something that I'm like, ugh, shouldn't have done that, in some way it comes back to me so quick. I used to have this thing happen to me that anytime I judged somebody, like I mentally like felt myself judging them for something, I would get it. Like it was instant. I remember there was this basketball player I used to talk to, and he had back knee, and I was like, ew, disgusting, you have back knee, like, well, and I like made fun of him for it. And then, I'm not kidding you, I think 8 months later, I never had a pimple on my back in my entire life. I had back knee so bad. I had it so bad that I had to get on Accutane, which is like lethal shit. By the way, if you have back knee or if you have any issues with breakouts, or get on fucking Accutane. But it is like hardcore drugs that you have to take to correct it. But it's like, it was just, I've had that happen so many times in my life before, where like the little there's just a little, I hear myself, I feel myself judge someone, and then that thing happens to me, and I'm like, ooh, karma is quick. She is swift. So I am doing my best to not judge people as they navigate this life and how they choose to do so. But man, it's been hard lately. Man, it's been hard. And honestly, I don't expect the same in return. I don't expect people to not judge me. I expect people to judge me. I do some crazy fucked up shit sometimes. So go ahead and judge me. But I'm just, I'm just a girl and I'm just doing my best. And I just need a little love right now. But anyway, yeah, I had to tell Mr. Manhattan. I was like, when I'm like biting and being mean and telling you I want to move, I just really need you to like throw your body weight on me and hug me and give me, I call it barnacles. I do barnacles when I'm like, I just need love. And I just like suction to him. I'm like, can I have a barnacle? And I think we both really need love right now because I think this move has been hard for both of us. And I've been taking all the fucking oxygen out of the room with how I've been handling it. So I really just do. I've grown to love him more and admire him more for his ability to be calm in my storm. Because my storm is very windy and I can be very spooky. And the lightning is very loud. So his ability to be calm has been really, really wonderful. But yeah, I don't know how long I've been going. And I don't know where Mike, there's no mic. Oh, I can look at this. 29 minutes. I have 29 more minutes to go. Okay, so another thing I want to talk to you guys about. Hang on a second. Because I also sent it to you guys, wait, I have to tell you this. This is so funny. We won a car. This is wild. So we just checked our mail for the first time like 2 days ago because we didn't even know where our mailbox was. And when we checked our mailbox, we opened up this mail and it was like a contest, and they're like, one person is going to win this Lexus, this new 2026 Lexus. And so Mr. Manhattan opened it and he's like, oh, we won $1,000. And I looked at it because it was like the other prizes were like $3,000, $1,000. And I looked at it and he had like misread the symbols and it was like actually the car that we won. And I was like, oh my God, we won a fucking car. And he's like, this has got to be a scam, whatever. So I ended up calling and talking to the dealership and they're like, you won the car, but the window for when you were able to pick it up ended in January. So we didn't get the car. And you know what? And that is how my life has been going. It's like, you win a car. No, you don't. No, you actually fucking don't. Nobody wins a fucking car. It's never that easy. It's never that good. Yeah, but basically we would have just had to pay like the insurance and title fees and whatever else, and we would have won a brand new Lexus, which would have been fucking sick because we're just sharing my Tesla right now and we do need a new car, and we're probably going to buy another one soon. But it would have been really cool if we would have actually just won the car, if we actually would have checked our mail. Well, here's the other thing, we weren't here in January. We didn't get here till February 1st, so no matter what, we wouldn't have got it. But if we had checked our mail, we would have won a car. So that's kind of neat. That's not what I wanted to tell you though. Okay, so there's this TED Talk going around, and I want you guys to listen to this.
This beautiful woman, Sophie Graydon, sadly died by suicide. Now, Sophie's toxicology report revealed that she had a blood alcohol reading of 201 milligrams per 100 millilitres, which is about 3 times the legal driving limit. And she had also taken cocaine. So when news of Sophie's death broke, much of the narrative online focused on the mental toll that reality TV can take on its contestants. And while this information was crucial, equally important things were missing from the dialogue. So it was the same just 1 year later when fellow contestant Mike Felicita similarly died by suicide. And Mike also had alcohol and cocaine in his system. So did you know that the 24-hour period following alcohol consumption is associated with a 7-fold increase in the risk for suicidal behaviour? Meaning the 24 hours after you drink, you are 7 times more likely to act on suicidal thoughts. And when you combine alcohol with cocaine, you create a whole new substance, which is called cocaethylene, and the risk for suicide for this is 16-fold. In 2018, the same year that I got sober.
Okay, so that is a woman who did a TED Talk, and her name is, sorry, I just like X'd out of it before. Her name is Millie Gooch. Great name, Millie Gooch. Ooh. So she's talking about when she got sober and just another woman who passed away in the same year that she got sober. And And I found this to be so interesting. So I want to speak candidly, as I always do. Speak candidly, as I literally never have. No, I'm just kidding. About my experience with cocaine. Because I don't often talk about this, but I will say, I never, ever, 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 ever once had a thought about suicide, had considered suicide, even thought it was on the fucking table until I did cocaine. So this woman is talking about cocaethylene, which is when you mix alcohol with cocaine and what it does to your brain chemistry, and how you have a 16 times more chance of acting on a suicidal thought when those two are in your body, when alcohol and cocaine are in your body. And I just think that's really important information, and I think it's something that we all should know. And at least if we're gonna go out and you're gonna party and you're gonna drink and do some coke, because who's just doing coke? Who in their right mind is just doing coke? I remember when I first got sober, like I quit drinking alcohol, but I was like, I'm still doing other drugs. And I was in New York City with my friend, and he's like, oh, I have some coke. Do you want to do coke? And I like went to the bathroom and I did coke, not having anything in my system. And I was just like wide-eyed and absolutely fucking batshit insane off my rocker, like crazy town. Like, I don't know who does that or why they would do that, but anyway, if you're doing coke just to do coke, like, God bless. I know a lot of people do, but that seems absolutely insane to me. But I just think it's important to understand what's happening in your body, and, you know, like scientifically why you feel the way you feel after you do those combination of things. Because I remember when I first started doing stand-up, there was this wickedly funny writer, comedian. He's now like a huge producer. His name's Bill Dixon, and he is savage. He is so fucking funny and smart. But I remember he would talk about suicide in his set, and, or, you know, the thought of wanting to commit suicide. And my whole body would like get tense. And I would just be like, what? Who actually thinks about that? Like, who actually, I had never had that thought a day in my life until my mid-20s when I started doing cocaine. And cocaine rewires your brain chemistry. And I've heard it from almost everyone who's ever done it substantially. I know my mom did a lot of cocaine. And she wouldn't say that directly, but I know her adamance against us ever doing cocaine suggested it fucked with her. And I remember reading the Robin Williams biography, and he said once, the thing he wished he could undo the most is ever having started doing cocaine. And I think it's just such a widely known party drug, and everyone's doing it. And God, I wish we could really raise awareness about what it does to our brain chemistry, because once it does that to your brain chemistry, once it unlocks the door to the basement and you go down those steps and you realize all those dark thoughts, and it's like you can come back up from the basement, but you always know the basement's there. And down in the basement is those very dangerous thoughts of, I don't want to be here anymore. And those have been popping up for me again. And I know a lot of you guys, I mean, I've seen comments being like, we don't want to hear about this. This is like my honest journey with my life. I am medicated. I am fine. I am going through it. And unfortunately, when I'm going through it, like, I'm the kind of person, like, before I was medicated, I was like, I have to go grocery shopping today. Should I go grocery shopping, or should I just fucking yeet myself off a balcony? You know what I mean? Like, it was like the tiniest, minorest inconvenience would, most minor, not minorest, inconvenience would make me just be like, I should just get out of here. I mean, you know, I was like, you know, all of my problems would be solved if I was just in a fucking canister on someone's mantle. Like, I just don't need to be here. But like, truly, my brain chemistry changed so severely after starting cocaine. And I got very lucky. I didn't start doing that drug until like well into my move to LA. I guess my mom scared me enough through college that when I was offered it, I maybe did it like once or twice, but I really didn't do cocaine in any serious capacity until I moved to LA. And then I dated a guy who I was for certain was gay. That's a whole nother story. But I dated this guy who was like a full functioning coke addict, and he had big jobs and he was on cocaine 24/7. And so dating him, I partook in that 24/7. And after that year, I think that year was 2013 or 2014, my brain changed forever. And I don't even know why I'm saying this now. I just think it's so important for the information to be out there that, like, if you want to do those things, party on, Garth. Like, I'm never going to tell you not to. We're humans with free will. And I think even if I'm sitting here being like, God, I wish I didn't do that, it doesn't mean that you're not going to do that. But I just want everyone to have the information. So if you are still drinking and doing drugs, that's okay. I just want you to understand that the next day when you are going through withdrawals and you're having horrible thoughts and you're kind of, it's the anxiety that turns into something much scarier and much bigger. I just want you to understand scientifically what's going on in your body, and that you don't want to kill yourself because you want to kill yourself. You want to because of the toxicology in your body. That said, I have no reason. I haven't been drinking and doing coke. I've just been having those thoughts where I'm like, well, it's a beautiful day to yeet myself. No, you guys, I won't actually ever do it. I won't. I just saw the ripple effect of pain it caused my family when my mom did what she did. And, I am very cognizant of my mental health. I think sort of contrary to my mom. My mom was in denial of the fact she ever had anything wrong. Anytime she was approached by anyone saying like, hey, you need help, she would just attack their greatest weakness. She was great at identifying anyone's greatest weakness. For me, when I was like, hey, when her and I stopped talking, when we became estranged until her death, it was because I had gotten that DUI in Arizona, and she went buck nasty on me. And I said, hey, I need a mom right now. And I can't have a relationship with you if you're just going to continue to bully me. So if you're willing to go to therapy, I will fly home and be there with you and go to therapy with you. But if you can't do that, then we can't have a relationship. And my mom and I never spoke again because she just said, you're a nasty little alcoholic. And, that's what she did. Anytime anyone suggested she needed help, she kind of attacked their greatest weakness and made them feel as bad as they could, so they would stand down on trying to enforce her getting any help that she so desperately needed. So that brings me to my next thing that I want to talk about, which is while I put stand up on a little baby pause and I continue to podcast, I think I'm going to try to write a book. It's going to be completely different than the book I already wrote. I want it to be similar to, but not exactly the same as Jeanette McCurdy's I'm Glad My Mom's Dead. And if you haven't read Jeanette McCurdy's book, I'm Glad My Mom's Dead. So Jeanette McCurdy, if you don't know who she was a child star. I think she did iCarly or something. I didn't watch any of her work, but she was a successful child star, and she wrote a phenomenal book called I'm Glad My Mom's Dead. Obviously a shocking title, but also just a brilliantly written, well-executed excavation of the soul of what it's like growing up with a difficult parent, and how that sort of shaped her whole life, as it does for all of us. Whether our parents are good or bad, they shape our whole life. They shape exactly who we are. You know, your parents are bad, you spend your whole life just being like, I don't want to be anything like them. I'm never going to be anything like them. And then one day you just look down at your hands and you're like, I've got my mom's hands. And you look at the way you're acting and you're like, and I've got the fucking fire in my belly. And, you know, we all become our parents, unfortunately. And they do shape us, you know, whether it's good or bad. Like my mom has 100% shaped me. I if you would have asked me 10 years ago, I would have said, I'm nothing like her. I will never be anything like her. She has no friends and she's unkind and she's cruel and she's this and she's that. The older I've gotten and the more healing I've done, the more I'm proud to be like my mom. The more I've understood her and her journey and her battle, the more impressed I am with how much grace she actually handled life with, given everything she went through. So I am going to write a book, and it's hard. I'm telling you this, I'm saying this out loud because I need you guys to hold me accountable. I need to get this fucking thing done. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while, but it's an upheaval of the soul. It is reliving trauma, and it is incredibly painful. But I think it's important. I think these stories are important to be told. You know, and I'm not doing it because I'm like, oh, it's going to be a bestseller. I don't know that whatever happens with it, happens with it. I don't care if 5 copies are sold. I don't care if none are sold. I just would like to get it done. I would like to process the relationship, that I had with my mom. And I would like to process all of the things I've learned about her post-mortem, all of the healing that I've done, all of the acceptance that I've come to, all of the forgiveness, that I've processed, everything, every part of it, because I think the only way to get it out of me is to get it out of me. You know, something we do in recovery, or I've done before, is like when you write something on paper, it's out of your body. So when I journal, you know, I'm back to journaling again. I had like totally dropped off for almost a year, and I'm back to journaling again because I have to put pen to paper because I need to process my emotions and my feelings. And once they're on the paper, they're out of my body. Like they're still within me, but they're not as strong because they went somewhere else. And so that's what this is. This, I think, is just putting a bow on the relationship that I had with my mother, on the, you know, just all of it. I just want to put a bow on it, and I want to put a bow on it, and I want to put it to bed. And then I don't want that mother wound to rule my life anymore. I want to move the fuck on, if I'm being very honest. And if there's ever a world where I want to have children, which, you know, that's very much up in the air and who knows, and it's not a priority for me right now, which is crazy to say because I'm almost 37. So if it's not a priority now, it might never be a priority. But if I do have kids, I want to get all of this gunk out of my system so that I can show up without my wounds. Even if I don't have kids, I would like to show up without my wounds. Because they've just been running the motherfucking show. And so, yeah, that's something I'm going to try and do. I'm going to try and write a book, and I hope I get it done. I might not. But I might, and that would be cool. So yeah, I think that would be really nice for me to do, especially since I'm living here. I'm out of the city. I'm not doing stand up so much. I'm not quitting stand up, you guys. I will be back. The bitch will be back. I'm going to take a meaningful pause. I'm going to take just like a protected pause to focus on myself and my energy and my body and my health and my life and the creativity that is feeding my soul, rather than the creativity that's soul sucking. So that's where I'm at. I will keep going with this podcast. I love this little podcast. I might be running around. I might be running to LA or to New York to try and get some guests on, because I really love having conversations with friends. I think those are super meaningful. I would love for you guys to DM me or leave in the comments the types of guests that you want. I know I've had a lot of comedians on. Those are my friends. I love my friends. I love just kikiing with my friends. That's my favorite. But like, do we want therapists? Do we want sex and love people? Do we want mental, like, where do we want this podcast to go? Because we're growing it together and I want to hear what you guys want to hear. I've had some feedback and I've taken it all to heart. I really have. Someone said this podcast is unorganized and I don't disagree. I'm going to be like so honest with you guys. Having the network before Just Media, I don't think I realized how much work they did and how great they are and how well they made us adhere to a structure. When I am left to my own accord, I'm a little fast and loose. I am doing my best to lock the fuck in. I am really, really trying. I love this little podcast and I just love you guys and I have so much fun with you guys every week and I'm so glad I get to do this. I feel so grateful for you. So I just want to say thank you for coming on this journey with me. Yeah, hang on. My little word of the week book is in the other room. Oh my God. Hi, you guys. Sorry, Mike's going to kill me because he told me to plug my camera in so it didn't die. And then I didn't plug my camera in and then it died. So this is why I'm not a real person without Mike. I need Mike's help. Okay. Word of the week, you guys. It's galvanize. Do you guys know what galvanize means? Galvanize, verb, to arouse or summon to action. Literally, galvanization is the process whereby something is stimulated by means of electric current. The letter had a galvanizing effect on Marge. I have been galvanized by the atrocities in my home. Okay, I'm going to stop talking about that. We're done with it. We're moving on. We're going into like, let's shed it. Let's go into a new energy. Let's do a burning ritual tonight, shall we? Start some shit on fire. Let it go. Let it burn. Let it burn. Okay, if you guys are in London, Berlin, or Amsterdam between March 20th and 22nd, I need you guys to come to my shows. Please buy tickets, because if you don't buy tickets, I'm not going to do them. And that's okay. Maybe the good Lord does not want me to be there during those times. I don't really know. I also have completely fallen off on bad advice. If you guys want to DM me, if you want any bad advice, I'm so happy to give it to you. I love interacting with you guys. I want to do more of that. So if you guys want to send my DMs or to Talkin Schmitt, get the DMs going. I would love to hear from you guys, hear what's going on with you guys. So many of you guys sent me love after last week's episode, and I just want to say, excuse me, I love you so much. And I love this podcast and I love meeting you guys when I get to meet you. And I'm just really grateful for this little community that we have. And next week, I'll be here. I'll be here and I'll be happy and I'll be healthy. I can't promise I'll be happy. What is happy? Who's even happy? Is anyone even really happy? I don't know. People, when they're like, well, my dream in life is to be happy. Is it your fucking dream in life to be happy? My dream in life is to be at peace, to create things that help people heal, and to be at peace in my home, in my body, in my relationship, and in my mind. So anyway, those are lofty goals. Haven't seen me at peace once, have ya? Okay, well, Biggie wants to come back inside, and I think it's time we wrap this episode up, but I love you guys so much. I love you, besties, and I'll see you next week.